Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your... Hey, who turned out the lights? What's this? What's this pain? Atheismos. My head. Whoa. Shit. Well, I guess this is the new look around here. I do want to thank my good friend Populate the Moon for my original avatar that's been a staple here for as long as I can remember. The Ninja Doodle art will continue to make appearances in the future, even as this new look becomes the new hotness. And second, I want to thank Modern Medusa for the amazing job she's done bringing my new look to life. Medusa, you aren't just beautiful and intelligent, you're a damned talented artist. Both of these wonderful people should be proud of their work and their styles, and you, my dear viewers, can find links to both of them in the description below. Well, now that that's over, I'm introducing a miniseries here. As I mentioned in the Intelligent Design episode of Inane Explanations, I came across a questionnaire from ID proponent William Dembski during my research. This set of 10 questions is intended for students to use in challenging their biology professors and trying to slip intelligent design into classrooms, despite a federal court ruling preventing its teaching in publicly funded schools. Now, I thought about including it in the Inane Explanations episode, but my answers ended up being too long, and since the point is to poison the well for evolution without quite admitting you're smuggling in intelligent design, it seemed more appropriate to sequester the questions for a different occasion. Plus, more uploads for the algorithm and more ad bucks for me. Am I right? In each episode, I'll answer one or more of the questions from the questionnaire. Since they don't build on each other and the length of the answer is highly variable, I'm not doing it in order. But I will start with question 1, since that sets the stage for the entire, debate? Let's do this thing. Question 1. If nature, or some aspect of it, is intelligently designed, how can we tell? Well, by determining that that aspect is more like a human-developed system than a natural system. Now, I'm an engineer, and my day job involves troubleshooting, reverse engineering, and designing some of the most carefully thought-out systems on Earth. So, I think I'm qualified to speak to this question rather well. If I'm looking for intelligent design in something, some of the indicators I've got an eye on are simplicity. Engineers and designers have an end goal of eliminating anything non-essential and implementing the most parsimonious solution possible to achieve a goal. As such, efficiency is another indicator of design. We don't want to waste space, time, or, well, anything really. And, of course, redundancy. Any mission-critical component will be replicated. This is one of the common violations of the simplicity and efficiency rules. Ironically, the need for redundancy reinforces the importance of simplicity and efficiency. A simple and efficient design is easy to duplicate and put in parallel with itself. There really aren't many other consistent indications of design. We know that information is a misleading red herring because information is something that a mind imparts onto systems and structures. The series of characters you're looking at isn't information. It's a series of repeating patterns which your mind interprets as information. Sorry, bubs. DNA is not specified nor all that complex. It's just chemistry. If I were looking for evidence of a designer behind life, I'd immediately be put off by such things as the mammalian eye and the vertebrate recumbent laryngeal nerve. In mammals, the eye is arranged so that the photoreceptors are facing the back of the eye, with the wires bursting from the center of the eye's back wall and plugging into the back of the receptors. In case you weren't keeping up on orientation, that means that the light is passing through a tangled spaghetti of cables and bouncing off the back of the eye before it ever hits the receptors, resulting in a low-quality image that's inverted to boot. And because of that arrangement, there's a blind spot where those cables enter the eye. Why couldn't we have the octopus eye, which has none of these problems? Was God drunk when he got around to us? Let's look at another example, the recurrent laryngeal nerve. The recurrent laryngeal nerve's insanity is best demonstrated with the giraffe. As you can see, the damn thing leaves the brain, passes the larynx, in case you hadn't caught on, that's where it's supposed to go, people, loops around the heart, and all the way back up to the larynx, traveling several meters when a few centimeters would have done the job. Neither of these examples, or most of the others in nature, do much to show me simplicity or efficiency, and redundancy is rarely present, perhaps in our sense organs and kidneys. But what does the typical animal do if its brain is damaged? Lose your heart? Puncture your stomach? What's your life expectancy? Designed? Come on! If the typical mammal were designed, I'd fire the designer. Question 3. How do we account for the complex, information-rich patterns in biological systems? Where did they originate? Information-rich patterns is a misnomer. Everything about the interactions with DNA is simple chemistry. We do not yet, and may never, know how DNA arose on Earth. But this isn't a question for evolutionary theory. Evolutionary theory explicitly deals with the question of how life, once it appears, diversifies. Therefore, question 3 is better left to the field of abiogenesis, which has a number of exciting hypotheses and interesting results already, though the field is largely still in its infancy. As I pointed out in answering question 1, information is something which we ascribe to patterns, not something inherent to them. When an embryo is developing, nothing in the cells actually says, "make an eye here." Rather, chemical concentrations within the cells activate certain lengths of DNA which lead to the production of certain specific chemicals which happen to build an eye. We know this because we can artificially stimulate any part of an embryo to grow an eye just by adding the right chemicals at the right time in development. We can manipulate an embryo and make it do what we want, despite the DNA contained in its cells. So yeah, 20% of the way through Dembski's questions, and intelligent design isn't faring too well. Nature looks the opposite of what a designer would produce. A horrible amalgam of good enough systems that would get any designer fired from even the laziest of corporations. And a whole bunch of question begging about abiogenesis. Maybe they'll have better luck next time. Until then, I'm InaneDragon, and if you've enjoyed this inanity, consider subscribing for more of the same. We never know what tomorrow's YouTube algorithm will bring, so please rate and comment down below. And if you'd like to be parted from your money, I've got one of those Patreon things, link in the description. As I said at the outset, check out both Populate the Moon and Modern Medusa on YouTube and Twitter, links in the description. Have a good night, everyone.